Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would just drink my morning coffee and answer a question that a subscriber asked last night. Alright, so what's going on with Stan Efferding recommending the kids and teenagers and young men out there eat large amounts of saturated fat? He's obviously not talking about a ketogenic diet. I do believe ketogenic diets work for a certain percentage of the population and can be very effective diets for them. However, he's not talking about it in this context. Now, for those not familiar with Stan at all, he is an IFBB pro bodybuilder who is also a world record holding powerlifter in the 275-pound class. The dude is absurdly strong. Now, his recommendations with that, usually what people do that, they're saying it because of testosterone levels, that all this red meat and saturated fat will boost your testosterone production. In Stan's case, obviously, he is very heavily chemically enhanced. His body does not produce any testosterone. He has to manually regulate the exact amount in his system. So this is a moot point for him. But what's going on with that? Well, the thing is, there have been studies over the years that show when you eat a meal high in dietary cholesterol or saturated fat that you get a boost in testosterone production. All fats do this, but these fats seem to do it the most. But the thing that people need to realize is that this is an acute response. It only lasts a couple hours, and I think they've only seen boosts of up to 25% in your blood serum levels. What you need to understand is that that is not going to have a very meaningful impact on muscle growth. The thing that you need to realize, testosterone is not the only hormone that regulates muscle growth in your body. And the pathway through which testosterone regulates growth can also be affected by other things in the body. What I mean is testosterone, the majority, probably 90% of the muscle growth that you see from testosterone comes from it binding to the androgen receptor in your muscle tissue. When it binds to that receptor, it signals the muscle tissue, more importantly, the nucleus of the muscle tissue, to release a substance called IGF-1 into the muscle cell. IGF-1 is what determines muscle growth inside of the tissue. In fact, IGF-1 regulates the growth of most of the tissues in your body, everything from bones to organs to even cancer cells. It is a very important growth hormone, and this signals it to release it inside the muscle tissue. Well, the thing is, IGF-1 can be released in your muscle cells from all sorts of other foods, not just fat. Carbohydrates, dietary protein, these things can also signal the exact same thing in the muscle tissue. So if you're thinking that just boosting your testosterone with your diet is somehow going to improve this, you might be wrong. In fact, we could arguably say that based upon all the data out there, that once you're not testosterone deficient, due to dietary deficiency, and as long as your diet is balanced enough and you have enough of your essential fats in your diet to, again, not be deficient in essential fats, omega-3 and omega-6, and you're not deficient in fat-soluble vitamins. And it's important to remember, a lot of these things you can get away with eating once or twice a week in large enough quantities, and it will sustain you. So in theory, a person could do a really low-fat diet 5 to 6 days a week, eat enough fat to handle their weekly load of fat-soluble vitamins, and they could actually not be deficient, unlike water-soluble vitamins, which you need to consume pretty much daily. But once you're no longer deficient, we could argue that both carbohydrates and dietary protein are more anabolic to muscle tissue calorie per calorie than fat is. But at the end of the day, the thing that people need to remember is all food is anabolic. All calories are anabolic. If you eat large quantities of food and you train and stimulate muscle growth, your muscles are going to grow. It's the fact that calories themselves are anabolic through different pathways that's going on here. It's not just that, saturated fat or protein is going to stimulate muscle growth. It's the fact that calories in general through different pathways in the body have the ability to stimulate and fuel muscle growth. So don't get caught up in this idea that, you just have to eat this one substance in large amounts and that will give you greater muscle growth than if you eat different healthy whole foods in larger amounts. It doesn't work that way. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.